Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to a kitchen table wargaming battle report. We have today the Real Space Raiders. We're running Cabal the Blackheart with our Real Space Raid today, and I'm bringing something special to go with my Real Space Raid. Facing off against the Sisters of Battle, this is none other than Morvenval. I hope to kill this person. I don't know if I will, but I hope to. Kind of frightening. Gonna have to do some shenanigans to avoid her crazy stuff and all her bodyguards and everything else. So we shall see what happens. This should be a lot of fun. We'll be back with the army lists next. Ladies and gentlemen, here is a look at the Drukhari list that I'm going to be playing today. This is going to be a fantastic list, slightly different, taking things as I learned them and improving, hopefully. There are two units that are being proxied in here, and I'll point them out. They're obviously not going to look similar to what they should be in reality, but we'll get there. So I'm running another Real Space Raid. Had some fun with that in the last game, learned some things about it. I think we'll try it again. So we've got the Warlord, Mr. Archon. He has the Gin Blade and Hatred Eternal and a Blast Pistol, again, just like last time. Using the Vizark model because he's cool looking. And then with him in the Kabalite specific troops, I've got 2 squads of 5 Kabalite warriors, and there's a blaster in each squad. The rest are just splinter rifles. Along with that, for purposes of Cabal of the Blackheart, I guess it doesn't matter when you're in the Real Space Raid. I have 6 raiders. Yes, all with Dark Lance, and one of them does not have chain snares, the rest of them do, and the one that has no chain snares will be that golden purpley one, just for fun. Have a homunculus, Master Homunculus. Oh, he is a Master Archon. Master Homunculus, so he has Prophets of Flesh, Vexator Mask, can't Overwatch, and he selects units to fight last within 3 inches of him. He's going to be running with 5, these are Homoxites, just bare bones, no guns, just all rack blades. There's a squad of 5 regular racks with a hex rifle, scissor hands, and a squad of 5 racks with a hex rifle, electric corrosive whip, and an ossifactor. Those are all running as Prophets of Flesh. I also have 2 units of incubi, so there's 5 incubi there. And then I have my Master Succubus with Triptych Whip, and she's going to have I was going to use Blood Dancer, but I think that might be Book of Rust specific. So she'll have the Quicksilver Fighter, if I can't use the other one. I'll double check it. The Quicksilver Fighter lets her get 2 additional attacks, so she'll be running with 8 attacks off the bat, plus potential for more with the drugs, so we'll see what happens with her. But the Book of Rust can't be included. You can't use those strats, warlord traits, etc. if you're not running just a pure witch cult of strife. So that's that. She has 10 blood brides. There's an agonizer blast pistol, razor flails, and a shard knight in there. 5 little mandrakes. Now I've got a row of troops here in the back. There's 5 witches, bare bones. These, I know the models are racks, and I know those are my made up mandrakes that became racks in the last game. These guys are my 2 units of extra incubi. So I've got 4 units of 5-man incubi squads. So the ugly ones are going to be more incubi. They are not running in the Real Space Raid. These are running with, dun dun dun, my Incarn. In a separate patrol, it is Yanari. So I've got the Incarn, knows 2 spells. It has the one that lets you reroll hits of 1, hit rolls of 1. You can cast that on a unit within 18 inches. And the other one is the targetable smite that the Incarn knows, and of course it knows smite. So the witches, the 2 units of incubi, the incubi are here, but they're not even on bases yet. So I'm proxying them with small bodies. So yes, that is 4 squads, 4 of incubi. These guys will be able to benefit from the soul burst actions, which could be kind of fun. If you're not familiar with the Yanari or the Incarn, anything Yanari, when a unit dies on the board, any Yanari models and these witches and these 2 squads of incubi will benefit from this for running in the Yanari patrol. They get the ability to fight first in melee, even if they were not charged. They also, if they made a charge and have the fight first, get to improve their weapon skill by 1. It's really fun, and things die. So it's pretty cool ability to have, especially for incubi. There's also a strat I could pick an incubi unit and just give them soul burst permanently for the game. I haven't found that to be necessary. I think it's a fun idea. Haven't found it to be super necessary yet. So I don't know, we'll see. But this is kind of a for fun list. It's got a lot of kick, lots of dark lances, got a lot of troops to hold bodies and points. I think the MSU style is going to be good, and we'll find out. So we'll be bringing back the list for the Sisters in just a minute. All right, here we go with the Sisters of Battle. This is a lovely little list. There's 2 patrols, or it's a battalion and a vanguard. It's 2 detachments. That's the word I'm looking for. All your melee-oriented stuff, sacrosanct. There are 2 10-woman squads. There are 9 retributors, or 10? It is 10. I mean, sorry, Repentia.
8.
I can count, good. 8 Repentia. I knew it was an even number. I made an assumption. There's also, these are Bloody Rose. Who else you said was Bloody Rose? Was the Zephyrim.
The
so there's
Dogmata.
2 squads of Zephyrim?
Yes, 2 6-men.
2 6-man woman squads. And the Dogmata, you said?
The Dogmata, and then the
Dogmata's down there. And the Hospitaller?
And the Missionary.
Missionary. Okay, cool. So those are your Bloody Rose stuff. They are Bloody Rose. They're going to be evil, I think. Ha ha ha. 2 rhinos, because you got to have a little bit of transport. We've got how many? You said 3 regular battle sisters?
3 5-man battle sisters.
3 5-man battle sisters. So they're just good troop holding girls. We got some, these are the Dominion squad?
Those are Dominions.
With their crazy bolters. Storm bolters on crack. I'm jealous. There's also 2 squads of Retributors. Okay. And they each have babies?
2 babies, yeah.
They each get 2 babies. That's too many. Too many. There are 2 mortifiers in here. So there's 2 mortifiers going. There's Morvenval. It's going to be fun. I'm worried about Morvenval. This should still be fun. And there's also, you said, a squad of Seraphim? Seraphim, sorry. Zephyrim and Seraphim.
Hand flamers.
And they have the hand flamers. And I don't remember, I think Palatine over there.
Yep.
This is the Hospitaller over here. This is some recently built models, so we're being kind. Haha. Not that I ever really care about that. You've already seen my list. I've got 2 proxy units, so it's all fun and games until someone loses. Then it's just good fun. And I think that's it. There's a bunch of different things going on with the list. The cool rules. The other big detachment is the Argent Shroud. Sorry, I almost forgot that. So it's mostly all the shooting stuff is in the Argent Shroud. The melee-oriented stuff is in the Bloody Rose. The Argent Shroud, the new rules with them, they can move and advance even and act as if they didn't do any of those things. So they still shoot on their normal ballistic skill. I'm not very impressed with that. Of course, I have Blackheart, so I can advance and charge turn 1. Whatever. We all have our tricks. Anything else fantastical to mention?
Maybe the Dogmata.
I pointed her out, yes. You were
been
distracted. And she's what? Oh, she's been a beat stick?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll have to see what we can do about that. I will bring the Darkkin against you. Will be lots of fun. This should be a really cool matchup. Lots of T3 versus T3 going on here. Lots of just chopping. She's going to have a lot more shooting than I have. It'll be a cool little game. We're going to have a good time with this. So we'll be back in a minute to roll up the mission. We'll show you the mission deployment, all those good things, and get the game started. Hope y'all are ready for this one. Hold on to your seats. Alrighty, folks, we rolled up the mission. We got number 23, the Scouring. So if you're not familiar, there's the weird box. It's 8 inches in from the edge. It's 16 inches forward. It's funky. It's wacky. I'm deployed over on this side. I've got everything inside of transport except for the Incarn because it can't, and my Mandrakes could, but there's no room. So this raider has got 2 squads of Cabalites. This has Homunculus, Moxites, and Incubi. This is the Archon, Incubi, and Rax. There's the Incarn. There's a raider with Incubi and Rax. There's another raider with 5 witches and more Incubi. And this is the Blood Brides and the Master Succubus. So we're all deployed out here. This mission does have one central objective, and then it's a mirror on each side. So what we're attempting to do with this is I'm attempting to copy the Grand Tournament Series terrain, so we're cheating with this a little bit. This is a ruin, so it's the same as this is how we're going to play it, where it's an L-shaped ruin. Same with this, a little bit thicker house type building over there. It's an L-shaped ruin, obscuring once you get into the footprint, which we've marked out with these gray and red dice, so that's so you understand. I will be receiving some pieces to mark those out and make them more of an actual building. But for now, we're marking them out with dice. If you get into that footprint, you lose the obscuring, then you can shoot through it and see and all those good things. So that's how it's going to work. You do play true line of sight on the floor, so like this building over here or ruin, there's not as many windows on it. Same with this one here. So that's what we're going to play. And then continuing the deployments, we've got a whole bunch of sisters, a rhino with the retributors, or a squad of retributors and the minions. You got some more retributors. You got their little fat babies with wings up way up high. Woohoo! You got some sacrosants. You've got a palatine. You've got a hospitaller, and then Morvenval right up in the front, which looks silly, but they have the bodyguard keyword. It's super annoying. So I can't shoot her even if I want to. More sisters, mortifiers. These are Zeraphim.
Zephyr.
These are Zephyrim. I mixed both the names right there. Are you proud of me? That way I couldn't really be wrong. I was only partly wrong. This rhino has the good old Rapincia, the Dogmata, and the Preacher Missionary. More sacrosants on this side, and the last little unit of Battle Sisters. So, good times. This will be a fun match. It's going to be bloody, and it'll get bloody real fast. Here are the secondaries that we picked. Both of us start at 7 command points. We both took Assassination, go figure, because our characters want to go Tangle. I took no prisoners. I don't know if it'll benefit me at all, but she does have a lot of bodies. She took the Rod, Retrieve, Octarius Data, and then we both have Stranglehold. That is it. So at this point, we are ready to do the rolling off. So Blair, you get to roll first. See what you can muster. The power of the die, it's a 5. I did not meet you. I rolled a 4. So, sisters, going first. We'll be back after the Sisters of Battle are done with their turn 1. In the Battle Sisters turn 1, things have moved. Sisters moved forward. This rhino stayed still. Retributors stayed still. I wonder why. It's because the terrain, it might not look exciting or intense. It changes everything about how you play this game. This is what happened with me and Russell the other day. It's interesting. Battle Sisters, they shuffled back. Sacrosants advanced to keep up with Morvenval. Hospitaller, what's that one? Palatine, yes. This rhino did advance as well. Blair was incredibly unlucky on 2 advance rolls. If she'd gotten a 3, they would have been on the center objective. If this had rolled, this one needed a 5.
Yeah.
But it was a chance. It could have gotten all the way up there. So both of the advance rolls, she was like 1 or 2 inches short on them. They're kind of staying put in the background. They've moved forward to keep me from being able to shoot anything over there that I want to shoot at. These are doing the Retrieve Octarius Data on this quarter, and they're sitting up there in the front to be tempting and tantalizing. I don't know if I can get that close yet, or if I even want to, but it's there. So that is it. That was the entirety of the movements, and all of the shooting from the Rhino and from Morvenval came in on this Raider that has my Archon, some Incubi, and some Racks, and took it down to 2 wounds. Very unfortunate damage roll on the crazy D6 profile. She rolled a 5, re-rolled the 1 into another 1, so it survived. So proud of it. I did spin for lightning fast reactions, and it did actually save me like 3 or 4 hits, I think, out of the multiple weapons that shot at it. So lightning fast came in big for me. That's it. No points scored. Well, the Retrieve Octarius Data, that one you pretty much can automatically score, but otherwise, nothing else happened in this turn. And we'll be back for the Drukhari turn 1 in just a moment. Turn 1 is over for the Drukhari. This boat flew up, sat on top of this, popped shots at that Rhino. I did a lot of whiffing against the Rhino. It's kind of funny. It probably should be dead by all accounts, but it's not. And then in hindsight, I realized I shouldn't be shooting at that anyways. So it worked out to my advantage. I spent the 2 command points to be never stationary So this just dropped back down here to hold my objective. My mortally wounded raider with 2 wounds left, I popped the enhanced ether cells stratagem, and it moved all the way up, woo, sitting on that objective. So I've gotten it in the range to hold the center objective, and it's lovely. The mandrake's back here, spread out in a neat little semicircle form, blocking off this part of the board. The Incarn stayed put, did cast with a smite, no, not a smite, a perils on itself, the reroll ones in melee. So I had a command point reroll that one. That was unfortunate, but it did go off, so the Incarn can reroll ones in melee. These witches got out, fanned out back here, so I blocked all the deep strike in the back of my board. The Blood Bride's boat came up here. Is just barely see the what are they called? Mortifiers back there. Yes. And so we shot the 2 raiders here, and we killed a mortifier. So I did kill something. That was better than nothing, I guess. This boat is sitting up on the objective in the front. This one moved normally, fired shots. I don't even think we killed a sacrosanct, did we? That was my other shots went in the sacrosancts, and their 2-up saves are pretty nice. This boat moved normally and charged and failed. I needed like a 5, and I rolled a 4, so I had to re-roll that. So then I got in my 8-inch charge, and I got up there nicely tucked into the rhino without being within 3 inches of Morven Ball or the sacrosancts on the other side, so no piling into me. Thank you very much. Whew, that's it. So all of that, I had to spend most of my command points. It was very sad. I'm at 2 left, but I did get Stranglehold, and I've got stuff kind of where I want it to be, and hopefully we'll make it a little harder for Blair to do what she wants to do. I don't know. There's a lot of nasty stuff in here. I'm gonna get out, and it's gonna be a problem. These things, I'm not sure what to do with them yet, other than kill them really hard at melee. Hopefully, but they have a 4-up invul save. It's very rude. Yeah, that's all I got to say about that. So we'll be back with the Sisters of Battle turn 2 in just a moment. Well, folks, we just had a fabulous turn 2. We'll start with the less fabulous, because this just is what it is. These Zephyrim. I did it right! Why? You notice that long pause while I wait. They charged in over here, they attacked and smacked, and they took this thing down to 2 wounds left, but it's not dead. So it hit with 4 attacks, it killed 2 Zephyrim out of that. Oh, so nice. Then we'll come around to where it was more interesting. The middle of the board is littered with skull markers full of numbers. So this is a raider that died, did not explode. This is a raider that died and did not explode, but I lost an incubi getting out. Remember, these are my ugly incubi. Oh, I can switch them out now because this rude person killed a squad of regular incubi, so I will trade those out in a minute. This squad of incubi lost 1 in the explosion and lost 1 getting out. And when I say the explosion, I'm referring to this raider that did explode. It did 3 mortal wounds on Morven Val. With her 4-up to shrug mortal wounds, she didn't care. But I did kill 3 sacrosancts. I killed another wound off of the rhino. I killed 2 sacrosancts. They shrugged 1 of the mortal wounds from the explosion. I killed, 1 of my homoxites, 3 racks out of this back boat that got out, 1 more rack over there, and like another incubi somewhere. It was insane. That explosion wrecked my objective secure. And then she shot at a bunch of it. So I lost my normal racks in the shooting phase. I still had 1 homoxite. My Akathist was still over here with the homunculus in the charge phase, along with the 5 incubi squad that was there. So she came in, she killed them. She killed the incubi just exactly enough. With her sweep attacks, you get extra damage, exploding 6s, or extra attacks, not damage. Anyways, it just kills the incubi squad. The homunculus made them fight last. I think the homunculus killed 2, and so there's down to 4 left. No, down to 6 left. I might have killed 1 with the homunculus. I'm not 100% sure. There was so much dying and death and carnage that it's hard to keep track. So that's where they ended up. And then the homoxite. They hit back. She split the attacks 3 and 3. The homoxite survived the first round of attacks. It was insane because it was a new phase. So he ignored the first point of damage. Then he rolled 3 5-ups, and he made 3 5-up saves prior to that. So 3 5-up feel no pains, 3 5-up saves. Ignored the first damage. He survived it. Then they killed the homunculus because they were angry. And then Morven Val, because she had used her pylon, was touching the Homoxite, used her once per game, fight twice to get rid of one little Homoxite. Is it overkill? No, it's not, because he was objective secure and nothing else on that objective marker was. Beautiful. So it took her fight twice ability to get rid of that one Homoxite. It was insanity. So, the end of the day, the dust has settled. I'm going to be hosed because I will only hold one objective and I will get no primary points. But she only scored 5 primary points on her turn. So, it's not as huge of a difference as it sounds. But this game, we're going to be fighting for these over and over again. So, it kind of matters. Some wild stuff. So, we'll clean up all these markers. I'm going to switch out my ugly rats incubi, for real incubi. My incarn came over to visit where the incubi died because she felt bad and wanted to be close, and I realized if she was still all the way back here, she wouldn't have the speed and the distance to get up in time to do any fighting in one turn. So there she is. Wow. We'll be back. This is crazy. This is just the bottom half of turn 2. So I get to do mine. I mean, that was the top half of turn 2. So I'm going to have my Drukhari turn 2. And I'm going to hit you back. That's what I'm going to do. It's going to be terrific. I hope. I hope it evens things out. And we'll be back. See you in just a minute. Alrighty, folks. The end of battle round 2 is upon us. This mess in the middle. Fun times. I finally got rid of Morven Vale. I'm proud of myself. That was fun. It took the Incarn, whiffing a little, and then the Incubi to finally bring her down. Then the Archon, actually the Chain Snares from the Raider killed all but the last one of the Sacrosancts, and the Archon finished them off in short order. Then I charged. I had 5 Incubi on the Battle Sisters, I had 3 on these Sacrosancts, and my Triptych Whip Gal is inside that building. And I fought first over here for fear of Morven Val, and then she interrupted with the Sacrosancts and killed all of my Incubi. I cried a bit and did nothing to the Succubus. But still, that was a horrible trade, because that one back there would have been worth points, getting her objective secure people off the point, and I really screwed that up, although I probably would have lost whatever was over here. So maybe I didn't, I don't know, but it was a blow. Over here, these witches moved up, got on that objective because of the Zephyrin that were back here. I disembarked my Blood Brides. They just came around the corner, charged the Zephyrin, killed them. I disembarked and advanced. My Triptych Whip Gal was here, and then she did her 6-inch pylon, so she's actually touching the Rhino through the wall, however, you know how that works, within an inch. And it was all, I mean, the idea is that Rhino can't fall back unless you win the roll-off, so she should not be shot to death. Fingers crossed, I don't know, we'll find out. This Mortifier took a shot from a Raider Dark Lance and is on a single wound left. But not dead, is that right? Yeah. Sad, I was trying to get rid of it. Whew. I killed 3 or 4 of the Sacrosancts with the Triptych Whip Girl, but not really enough to make it very exciting. Oh, in this Raider, I paid the 1 command point for it to fall out of combat, and came up and advanced and charged, and that's how it got to the Sacrosancts over there. This Raider that had the Blood Brides, I just came back here to screen, zone out. I don't want her deep striking in my line, so everything's still zoned out pretty well here. And that's it. That was the end of my turn. I picked up 4 on Assassinate, I picked up another 3 for Stranglehold, and now I'm gonna lose a bunch more stuff to shooting, and it's gonna be fun, yay! And we'll be back at the end of Sisters of Battle, turn 3. Yep, folks. It is the end of turn 3. Bastel Sisters? Sisters of Battle? Whatever. Wow. So we realized, right as we were recording the summary, that we never rolled the explosion on the Rhino over here. And oh boy, that Rhino, it exploded. It was glorious. Did I mark up the wounds on the Succubus? She took 2, right?
So she'll be at 2.
Yeah, so she'll be at 3 here. Anywho, sorry. We had played through the end of the turn, and we rolled for the disembarkation of Mr. Preacher Man, but we forgot to do the explosion, and it exploded, and it killed the Mortifier. So the Mortifier did not kill my Succubus, as we had thought. It also managed to kill the Hospitaller, because the Hospitaller took wounds from my exploding. The Retributors lost 1. The second squad of Retributors lost 2. Dominions, I think, only lost 1. Then this back squad was okay. Up here, the Sacrosancts lost another 2. Failed morale. Another 1 ran away. So it's down to 1 Sacrosant. There's the Dogmata is there. Preacher Man took 1, lost 1 more Retributor to the explosion. It was a horrific explosion. It was amazing. So, it's a slightly better than what I thought at the end of the turn last time around, because I do still have the Triptych Whip Girl. But this was insanity. So that Raider blew up, caused a bunch of wounds, took out the Rhino, did some sprinkling of wounds, killed 2 Sacrosancts on my explosion, then her Rhino blew up, killed 2 more. That's how we got to there. This shooting from all of these nasty guns killed my Incubi that were here. My Archon was left alone, so obviously she charged him instead of shooting him to take the point, and take the point they did. The Archon also took wounds from the explosion, so he was on 2 wounds at the time. So he took a full, would have been 12 attacks from the Repentia, failed all the saves. The very first Shadow save, roll of 1. So he was not planning on sticking around after his Incubi got slaughtered in front of him. And that was that. Over here, you'll notice the Incarn was missing from that shot because the Blood Brides died, and the Incarn said, let's get out of here, and went over there. You didn't do it. I don't know if you meant to. Were you going to charge your Zephyrim into the Incarn because I moved the Incarn? I don't know if you cared. I'm already going to own the point because I'm objective secure back there. Okay. I just realized that was a thing that could have happened, so we're good. Nothing there. Back here, rudely came up with a Rhino to charge into my Cabalite Warriors. Also dropped in, these are the Zephyrim? Mm-hmm. Yes. And the Zephyrim made a charge with their little miracle die, still a thing, and destroyed my Cabalite Warriors. It was real bad. Not a one of them survived. Oh, and the Seraphim, anything that can come in with hand flamers, I dislike, especially when I can't use my 4-up invulnerable save strat for the Cult of Strife because it's not a pure Cult of Strife patrol. She just melted all my Blood Brides. Rough. Okay, I think that's everything. Picked up 2 characters this turn, one of them being my Warlord, so she got 3 for Assassinate and 4 for the Warlord. I picked up 1 for the Hospitaller killing itself in an explosion. Well, it didn't kill itself, but dying in the explosion. So the game is afoot. She still took me off of primaries again. She still scored Stranglehold, so that's 2 turns in a row of that. I'm going to take back some points. I am going to score Stranglehold, just you watch. I don't know how yet, but I'm going to do it just to annoy you. And then we'll see what's left. So, end of turn 3 for the sisters, going into turn 3 for the Drukhari. We're going to make some magic happen. So here I go, folks. It is the end of the turn 3. Shenanigans were done. The Incarn was right about back there at the corner, was in range to do the targeted smite, so I killed the Dogmata. Haha! I'm so proud of myself. Got 3 more for Assassinate. Then I did a smite into the Battle Sisters, took 2 took them down to 2 left, 3 left, whatever that was. I can't talk right. I killed them. Then the Witches charged, they advanced, charged, the Succubus charged, the Incarn went around and charged, so the Seraphim and all of those Battle Sisters are now dead, so I got the point. And I don't know if we explained, I think I did, the gray dice are marking the outline of the building, so the Witches are actually on the far side of that, so they're not visible. That means a lot of movement has to happen for her to be able to shoot into them, which is possible, but it would take a lot. This Raider shot forward and is sitting on the objective and still could poke through and pop a shot, so I killed a Retributor with that Raider. The Cabalite Warriors disembarked from the Raider that was back there, moved up to the objective. This Raider came around over here, and we shot the Rhinoceros on this side with the Raider and the Blaster and killed it. It did not explode, thank goodness. I'm having palpitations and tremors from the last explosion. And then all my Splinter shots went in here and did nothing. My Bale Blast, however, killed 2 or 3, and then we charged, and the Mandrakes picked up the last 2 of the Zephyrim that were on that side. So I'm hurting her ability to score the Retrieve Octeria's data thing. I've limited some things, but she's got a bajillion shots over here in the middle of the board. Repented units still in the middle of the board. So we're still playing a game. The Drukhari are hanging in there by the skin of our teeth. The Incarn did decide to come visit the death of the Zephyrin on this side of the board, making some lookout sir, trying to protect it a little bit. Still got some range to be able to do shenanigans next turn, so we'll see what happens. That is it. I picked up another 3 on Assassinate when I killed the Dogmata from the middle, and I got Stranglehold again. I still haven't scored primary yet, and that is it. So we'll be back for Sisters, turn 4 in just a second. Well, turn 4 is over for the battle. Sisters of battle. The the sacristant and the preacher guy, is that who that is? Or is that the missionary?
Yes,
I don't remember. That's yeah, that one. Move forward. Their goal is to hop on and do retrieve Octaria's data at some point. These Retributors moved up. These Battle Sisters just kind of moved up. Then there's a Palatine, and then you'll see the Dominions, and on this side of the building, Retributor squad all advanced up to get into the building so they could shoot my witches. I spent the 1 command point I had for lightning fast on those witches. It was the best investment I've ever made. It forced all of these units to shoot the witches, not my character. It was amazing. They're so proud of them. They made a bunch of saves and spent babies with wings and all that good stuff, and my succubus survived. I don't remember the order of things, but at some point what was it? Oh, the Incarn was back here in this corner. After they shot and killed some of the witches back there, these other 2 Retributors that are out in the open shot through the building because I was in it and killed that raider. So the Incarn decided to go visit over there because it felt a little safer than being over in this corner, and because I needed to stay on an objective for once in my life. So I was able to sit there, stay on the objective. The Repentia came over here to ruin my day, charged my Cabalite Warriors, and charged my Mandrakes. And the Cabalite Warriors are all very dead, but look who survived. These 3 Mandrakes. Guess how many Repentia the 3 Mandrakes killed? They killed all but 1. They killed 5. And I was like, what? And Blair said, what? It was great. It was very exciting. So they did not steal my objective, which I thought was already a foregone conclusion. And that's where we end the turn. Blair scored the Stranglehold 1 more time. Running away with the points because she's been able to score 5 primary every turn, where I have 0 for myself. But we'll see if we can fix that. The problem is that I just don't have a lot left on the board to do scoring, so it's a challenge right now. There's some things I need to kill, some things I should be able to kill, and she's got all this scary shooting over here that I need to deal with somehow. But yeah, really wild so far in this game. So we'll be back in just a minute for the bottom of turn 4, Drukhari coming up next. End of the Drukhari, turn 4. These, I used cruel deception, I'm so cruel. Fell back, charged, killed the Repentia. Yay for me! This raider, I hemmed and hawed about where to put it. I ended up putting it there. To charge into this lonely sacristant who's still alive. But where has the preacher missionary dude gone? He died because my Incarn smote him with a targeted smite. I can't remember what it's called. Yeniad's Gaze or something like that. Very happy for me. So another 3 on Assassinate. Back here, the Succubus charged the Battle Sisters. No, those were the Retributors, and picked them up and then danced away 6 inches to be outside the building again to make her have to decide which directions to go to shoot. I mean, honestly, those can sit still and shoot her, but what to do with the rest of them, I don't know. The Sacristant hit back, took 4 wounds off of the Raider, but I'm preventing her from finishing the retrieve Octaria data thing. So yeah, my intentions to screen her out of my half of the board worked so far, and then some things went my way. She still has a lot of bullets. I have a feeling the Succubus will die. There's every possibility that the Incarn will die. If they don't, and I'll be happy if they don't, then there's a chance for me to score primary points again, instead of just doing it 1 time in this game. So we'll see what happens. It is the end of the turn, end of the game. I mean, Battle Sisters, Sisters of Battle even. Turn 5, up next. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, okay, end of battle, sisters of battle. I keep doing that wrong. Turn 5. So everybody moved up here with their party of bolts and blessedness and retributors and all that jazz. The sacrosanct fell back. The raider then was subsequently shot to death by 2 retributors who had to use a baby. They had to burn a baby. Oh, it sounds so bad. To finally kill it because it had 2 wounds left after the first round of shooting. So that was yay for the raider, I guess. And then it didn't explode. The one time I really wanted it to blow, and it decided to just go out with a whimper. Very disappointed. Over here, some Sisters of Battle shot and killed my poor mandrakes. I needed one more save, and I had no CP to reroll, and I would have had 1 mandrake left, and I would have been able to at least score primary. But no. Over here, oh yes, so this was a cheeky moment with the Incarn. The Incarn was over here holding this objective, but it's visible through the walls. These are obscuring, but we're playing them as ruins, so being placed there, it could have been shot to death by the Retributors, which was her plan, using a fat baby with wings. So instead, she shot and killed the Succubus with blessed bolts from these here Dominions, and then the Incarn said, well, hey, this is a better place to hang out than over there where it's all exposed. So the Incarn came over here, and Blair was quite angry with me, but hey, that's what the Incarn does. But yeah, so that's that. So the Incarn is sitting here, and that is the last unit for us Drukhari left on the board. So I'm not going to score any more primary. So the one time I scored 5 points, remember that, folks. That was exciting. That was my highest scoring primaries. Yeah, so we'll come back. I have a shot at killing off the last character with psychic power, and I might slew some more sisters here or there just to be able to try to fill out the no prisoners, but I don't think I got a whole lot out of that. It's just kind of one I wanted to try because there's a lot of sisters on the table, but it might not have been a great choice. So we'll be back in just a minute. I will finish up this last turn with my 1 whole unit, and we'll come back with the scores and the final outcome. Oh, turn 5 has come to an end. My hopes and dreams were crushed. It wouldn't have changed the outcome of the game, actually, but it would have felt good. This silly little character, this one being the Palatine, has 2 wounds left. I got the targeted smite off with the Incarn. Yes, being inside the footprint of the building, she's visible. It was all good. And she wasn't standing in the middle there. She was off to the side, so the window would have helped. But she rolled a 6. That insane deny of power on a 6-up. The one time in the game, she got it to go off and blocked my spell. So then, out of spite, I cast a smite. I killed 2 of the Dominions, and then the Incarn charged. Because I didn't, for some reason, I didn't take into account that I could charge the Incarn over here, pick up a few more models in combat instead of just killing 1. I wasn't going to score primaries, but I think in my brain, I had to be on an objective. So, it is what it is. So, yeah, so I killed those Dominions real dead with the Incarn. But it was super fun. So at the end of the day, I did not score primaries yet again. I scored primaries once in this game. It was such an insane game. So here's what we are at. It ended up being 36 points to 41 points. It was that close. Neither of us counted a paint bonus because she had some not painted. I had some proxy models, so they're not painted, obviously. But it was insanity. So if I could have gotten 3 more for Assassinate, I still would not have won. So it's kind of like, whatever. And if I had charged the Incarn into the cluster of people in the middle, it could have picked up enough to possibly give me 1 more point for no prisoners. And again, wouldn't have mattered. Would have made it like 40 to 41, and I would have felt like, oh my gosh, I can't believe it happened. So that's it. It was a crazy fun game. So the proud sole survivors will be those battle sisters back there who did nothing except hold an objective and keep Blair scoring points every turn. Those 5 on primary that she got were the difference maker, really. Then the Incarn survived. The Incarn has probably got to be my MVP this game, just because it kept popping around, it kept messing up Blair's plans, it kept staying alive and not dying. And then for Blair, we were talking about it, these Sacrosants, holy cow. I did do a pretty big goof and charge multiple units into that squad of Sacrosants when they were on the right-hand side in that ruin, and then that interrupt was clutch. But Morven Val was a threat. I couldn't really let her go first, and it was, I don't know, I think If I had been thinking a little better, I might have just held back with a unit or two or committed more in a different place so there wouldn't have been so much dying all of a sudden when she interrupted. But it is what it is. So the sacrosants are amazing. Pretty cheap too. Yeah. The real MVP from my list was Lightning Fast because it kept that witch squad alive in that back corner long enough to keep the succubus alive. It was insane. This was a great game. Some really wild moments. It did last all the way to the end. That rhino exploding earlier on was nuts, and it changed the whole outcome of the game. It's been a blast. So thank you, Blair. Thank you very much. Hope y'all enjoyed this. Victory to the Sisters of Battle. Things were learned on both our sides, and this was a good game. Loads and loads of fun. So, catch us next time. Kitchen Table Wargaming Battle Reports, and thank you very much.